Hi, and welcome to another episode of Being Surreal. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about how to win arguments. Okay, so I'm a person who likes to debate and like not argue but debate because debating is fun and you get to know about others' point of view. So I like to debate and sometimes argue too, and I find it fun to be honest. But there's this thing with argument and debates that if it gets heated up, it can have bad results. So in today's episode, we'll just talk about how you can win arguments and what should be your modus operandi for the. Okay, so we live in an age where cancel culture is the new thing, and a lot of people spend their time on Twitter. And someone once told me that if you have to survive on Twitter, you have to be cutthroat and very competitive, and you should be able to handle arguments and stuff. If you get discouraged by them easily, you should not go on Twitter. And once I went there on Twitter, I realized that he was right. So and these are something I have learned, and they are very helpful in debates and arguments. I hope you learn and try to adopt them too. So first of all, your goal should be that you should be looking for debate rather than argument. Always choose debate over argument. So the difference between this is in debates mostly people have facts. They are not debating, like they are not talking and proving each other wrong because they want to prove each other superior, but it is more of a serious discussion of their point of view and backing off your point of view that I believe in this because of these reasons, and that is debate. Arguments can be usually silly and petty, like it can be literally about anything. You can argue about literally anything, like there are flat earthers who argue that earth is flat, but those are up for argument and anyone can do that, and you don't really need to have facts or something to argue. You can argue about anything, it's easy. Like I can argue about why you should not eat protein, but I will not because I believe that you should eat protein and take proper nutrients. So the first thing is that you need to avoid argument. Like if you see someone gaslighting you, then try to avoid you. So gaslighting is basically that I'm not sure if you have any fight, but if you have seen, then in schools or on road, what they usually do in the starting is that they call each other out and they tease each other and call each other's name. That thing is gaslighting. So and it's not just limited to that, but it's more. So gaslighting consists of that, and you are just basically trying to anger the other person so that they would start fighting or arguing with you, and that thing is called gaslighting. There are like various examples of gaslighting. There are people who gaslighting, sometimes it's not even real, they are just virtual. If you saw a video that is provocative, then that is gaslighting too, and your goal should be to avoid that, because if someone is gaslighting you, then they are probably going to willing to be ugly, and if you want to keep your mental health healthy, then just avoid it. I'm not saying that all you should always back off and not do anything even if they are doing the worst thing possible to you. That's not the case. Like just try to avoid it, but if it is going out of hand, then sure. But yeah, avoid as much as you can, because in the end it's not really helpful to you, it's just waste of your energy and time. So avoid arguments. And second thing which I have learned is that sometimes argument arise because people don't really understand each other. And this is because like this one day I was talking to a friend and we were talking about something, and we were talking about some basic science stuff, and we had different opinion and we couldn't really understand each other because me and her were on polar opposite sides, and I was calling her dumb and she was calling me dumb. So we were doing that, but then I was like that this is very simple. I don't understand why we are having this argument. Like it's not really that complicated of a concept. So I asked her, what does she actually mean that by word? And then we told each other what we thought it meant, and then it led to the sorting out. And after it was done, I was like, damn, it wasn't that hard. It was actually really simple. So this thing is very helpful. If at any point you think that the person is meaning something and you don't really understand, or you think that you take the worst possible meaning of that, like for example, it is pretty common in Gen Z and young people that we cuss to each other while we talk, and it's not because we are very angry, jealous, or have any bad feeling for them. It's just because it's kind of fun, and we all know that it doesn't mean anything, like we don't mean any harm. And this is only for friends. It's not like you can go to a random person and cuss them, then that would lead to an argument. So it's that kind of thing. You should know that if you think that this is sounding absurd, then ask them if they really meant that, and then chances are they don't, they meant something else, but because of the way you took it, it led to an argument. So that is one of the way you can avoid it. One more about this is that phrasing is very important, like very important. This is one of the most crucial part of winning arguments. So and debates too, of about winning debates and arguments. So this is how important it is, like especially in debates. When you are debating, you don't want the other person to belittle themselves and make them feel inferior. Your goal in debate is to put forward your point of view and be like that, I believe in these things because of these facts, and I think this is the right way, and the other guy is doing the same. It doesn't mean that one is superior or inferior. It's just mean you both have different point of view and you are just talking about that. And especially in that case, phrasing is very important. I can't like put enough stress on it. If you are having a debate, make sure your language isn't rude and you don't sound too arrogant. For example, I'll give this example. Okay, so let's assume that someone says something that they believe in this, and you react like, huh, you are such a dumbhead, that's not right, you fool, and then you tell your own opinion. In that case, it is bad, especially if you don't really personally know the person. So avoid that and use things like, I think you are wrong. Like when you are in a debate, appreciate the part which you think is right. Like there's this part that I think you are right about this, but what you are talking about, this part is wrong, and I think this because, then you tell your facts and opinions. That is how you should debate, and if you go through this, you will learn something and not make the other person feel offended, and then you can both like have a healthy debate and you'll both learn something without hurting each other. Have strong beliefs in your opinion. Like one of the thing about debating an argument is that your goal is that you should believe in certain things because you have strong facts supporting them. You can't be vague about your points, because if you are, then you will not be taken seriously and you will probably lose too. So this is how it works. Like let's say there is something going on and you find it that this is wrong. So what you do is you go and tell the person that I think this is wrong, and the reason I think is because of this. Just saying that you are wrong, I know you are wrong, dude, trust me, I know you are wrong, I just know, I don't know why, but I just know. If you are that kind of guy, probably winning debate isn't your most strong point. So have facts behind this. Like, I have very strong opinions about some things, and that is because I have read about them, and I have like noticed and observed in people, and over time I got to that conclusion and I got to that opinion. So getting backed by facts is important. If your claims are just baseless, you will be ignored too. Like how a lot of flat earthers are. Like there is ton of proof out there that earth is sphere, but still there are people that believe that earth is flat. They have believed that other planets are sphere, but they are not willing to believe that earth is sphere. They are still believing that earth is flat even after a lot of proofs. So this is how you would look if you don't have facts, and you would be like any other random guy who is just trying to come into an argument, and the sole purpose of your debate is to argue with people, and that should not be your goal. Because I believe that if you are not gaining something from the debate, then it's just waste of your time and energy. It's better to do something else than waste that. And the most important part of a debate and argument is that you should be willing to change your mind. So in a debate, when you are listening to other person, so you are listening to them and you are trying to know what's their thought process, then you should be willing to change your mind. That you should go with open mind, that I will listen to this guy completely, and then I'll think if he's right or not. Because if you go with the attitude that this guy is absolutely wrong and I'm not going to change your mind, then that argument or debate is just futile. And this is a tip to all of you, that never argue with a person who's not trying to change his mind. Like this is very common on Twitter. Like I have seen some useless fights where the other person is just literally doing nothing and they are talking about vague points. Like there was this one time about this incident, and those tweets were fighting, and there was this account who was just talking random crap, and it was just totally random. Like if you would read that, you would feel cringy. It was that you are a faceless troll. And then I advised the guy that like I was not even replying to the third person, I was just replying to a guy who was trying to make sense to the third person. I just told him that it's futile to argue, and never argue with people who are not who will not try to change them, and who are not willing to. And interestingly, that third guy replied, and it was like, you are a faceless troll, where is your face? And I was like, damn, this was not even a troll. I was just giving advices, and it was a good advice in my opinion. Like if you didn't think that, then you can sure tell me about it, ping me on Instagram. My ID is being.surreal, or if you are watching this on YouTube, you can just comment down by if you think that I'm wrong, or you can just comment if I was right. So it was and after that I didn't even reply to that guy's tweet, because it was futile. I could go on for hours, but it would have been futile because there was no need of that. One of the things that leads arguments to fight is that instead of putting forward your opinions, you are just attacking the other person. If you are bringing personal things and doing that kind of thing, like you are attacking that person. Attacking basically means you are looking at their personal life and then using them as argument, like saying that your opinion are this way because you have this disability or something like that. Like those are very mean, and I'm trying to keep it family friendly, but yeah, like that kind of thing. Like racism, like you can, the other person becomes a racist, that kind of thing, then that is a personal attack. And never ever use personal attacks in arguments or debates, because the moment you use that, it's assumed that you have lost, because the reason why you would do this is because you don't have anything better to say. So just for the sake of argument you use that personal attack. So avoid that and try to be very calm minded while thinking about this. You should not be very be in rage or anger, or maybe even too excited to just win, that you look down upon the other person. Just don't do that, and just stay calm and chill. It's like your goal should be to learn. I only debate with people with whom I think I can learn something. If I think that they have nothing from, they don't have anything from which I can learn, I just avoid the debate altogether, because I have other important things to do, and argument isn't one of them. So I'll give a quick recap and before concluding the episode. So avoid argument, look for debates, do debates with person who are actually willing to change their mind, because if neither of you is, if even either of you isn't willing to change their mind, then it's futile. Don't argue, because no matter what the outcome is, your mind is not going to change. So avoid that. It's just waste of your and time and energy. If at any point you think that you don't really understand something, then just ask about it. There is no shame. It's better to be sure what the other person is saying rather than assuming it, because if you just assume, you can take some meaning which he or she never intended, and that would backfire. Have strong beliefs in your opinion. Think why do you think a certain way, or have proof for your opinions, and have facts that are backing your opinions and arguments. Have belief that this thing happened and this is why you are that way, like a dog bit you and that is why you fear dogs, not because just you fear dog for the sake of fearing. Just an example. And be open minded in argument, and it should be healthy. If your debate results in you getting frustrated and angry, then probably next time just avoid it, because it wasn't worth it. And with that, I'll end this episode. Thank you for listening in. If you have any other views or opinions about this, then free feel to ping me, and or you can just comment down, and I would love to have a talk about this, because as I said, I am a very debatable person, and I would love to become better, and it would really make me feel good if you would help me become better, and you will tell me your views so that I have more information, so that I can think about that too. With that, I'll end today's episode. Thank you.